Welcome to 40 Below Zero, an international podcast about life with invisible illnesses, hosted by two guys living with multiple sclerosis. Coming to you from the Keystone State of Pennsylvania, I'm your co-host Nix, and with me on this ride is Terry, a Londoner who calls Ontario home. We're so happy you're here with us as we continue to try and normalize a life that is anything but. So let's get into it. What's up, Warriors? Welcome back to the show. Terry, how are you?
Hey man, I am good and I am happy because I did my second treatment to the initial Ocrevus.
Nice. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. I'm a little fatigued, but I'm fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's kind of comes with
yeah,
the territory.
yeah, I'm
Um,
fine.
I had a pretty good week last week. A couple things happened. One of the things, MS related, I sat on my first activist panel. They had an activist rally virtually, and I was asked to be one of the speakers on the panel to share my experience at in DC that I've talked about. So that was kind of cool. It felt weird.
Is there a recording for this?
There is, and I'll send it to you, but I kind of dropped the ball. Um, I, I'm ash I'm ashamed to say that I wore the wrong color to this event. I've been hanging out with Canadians too much, and I wore red for MS instead of orange.
Nice. Sorry, man.
So they didn't say anything. They were kind enough to just kind of breeze past that. But I
Yeah,
afterwards, I was like, "Oh man, it was right there. Why did I not? I have like six orange shirts."
yeah, that's funny.
Ugh.
I can't wait to see a video, man, if there's a video.
Oh,
And to
there's
make
one.
make fun of you for the red shirt.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Uh, I had um, I had a an experience about we talked about being invisible in a crowd when you're in being in a wheelchair, people look past you and all that.
Yeah,
This weekend, I went. Me and Kit, we took our daughter to the World of Oddities Expo. It was a big convention full of all sorts of crazy stuff. So I was pushing my way through Chinatown down in Philly, which
okay.
super cool place. Very nice people, uh, but the streets are all jacked up. The sidewalks are totally in disrepair. And there was a gentleman who I guess didn't see me, but he kind of like walked right in front of me. So I had to shift and it caused my wheelchair to catch a broken piece of the sidewalk
Yeah.
and it just messed up the bottom foot plate and it like loosened a bolt. And for the rest of the day, I had to keep reaching down and putting my wheelchair back together. So it was not very comfortable experience.
Is your chair fixed now?
Well, it's fixed now because I know, I have the tools and I know what to do, but
Yeah,
I had just had the foot plate replaced because after 4 years it got all scraped up and all this.
yeah,
And I think it's a flaw in the design of the wheelchair to have the adjustable plate right there.
yeah.
So, and I looked at it, I'm like, man, this thing's like 2 days old. And I'm not, I was like, so this, like I said, this dude didn't see me, but moving through a crowd of about, I want to say like 3,000 people. There was a lot of people at this thing. Nobody seemed to see me. They all just kind of parted and moved around me. And I know it's weird, but it's a very weird feeling. I don't know if you experience that a lot. I know we've talked a few times about it, but
Totally, man. I'm sensitive to when people don't give me eye contact
yeah.
and they just kind of, wave around me. I totally get that.
So it's been a while since I experienced that. I don't
Yeah.
use when I go out, I'm usually down at the ballpark, but this was weird. This was weird. I was like, you see I'm right here, right? Like you see me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. How were you after? Like, were you agitated? Like,
I was mad about the wheelchair. Like I don't want to say falling apart, but not it didn't really fall apart. It just kind of came loose. So my focus was more on that.
yeah.
So I had to sit with my legs kind of crossed off to the side so I didn't put pressure on that side of the foot plate.
Yeah.
So it was
Is
uncomfortable.
it's just like you said, it was, what'd you say? It was kind of a defect or a flaw in the system, in
I,
the
I think it is.
design?
I think it's a flaw in the design. Like I get it. People have different leg, different lengths, but
Dude, I feel the same way with my chair, but I have it for another 3 years.
right. And
Do we
now
have-
and now I have this broken part.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Okay.
about 2, 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah. If
So
Jason is listening to this, I'm sorry, man. I don't really like the chair, but it's okay. I'll deal with it for another 3 years since I have two chairs. Let's just move on.
all right. That was my week.
Okay. I had a good week, man. So, yeah, yeah, nothing to report.
No,
Good.
like nothing. You just stayed in the house. No.
Dude, I'm great. Oh, actually, I do, but not today. I'll talk about it next time.
Okay.
I'll talk about
What's coming up?
what's coming up for sure. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about this guest who I brought in today.
All right. Who we have?
She's awesome. What can I say? Let me see what I have here. First of all, she's a patient of MS, okay?
Okay.
She's a volunteer to an advocate to an ambassador to MS Canada.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, oh, she does it all, and she's a good support for me too, man. I do a lot of volunteering, and so does she, and that's how I know her from MS Canada. And she's been helping around for over 8 years or something. So let her in and let me introduce you to her officially. Hi, Michelle with one L.
Okay, I'm being recorded now. Thank you. I've arrived. I'm ready. I just rode my bike here.
Awesome. So, Nick, let me officially introduce you to Michelle with one L. So, like I said before, I volunteer with her as well, and she's an ambassador just like you are, Nick.
Michelle, good to meet you.
Good to meet you too. This is just my make-believe persona of I'm a star now because I'm on a podcast.
Oh,
I feel so special. I'm a star.
I
She's
feel the same
so
way when I'm
funny.
around Terry too.
Okay, I'm here now.
Whatever. What are you guys doing? Let's continue. Oh my
But what I
God.
have is what Terry wants.
Don't tease me. She's holding,
Sorry.
nobody sees you, by the way. This is an audio thing, but she's holding a
Oh,
whole huge bottle of Tic Tacs, and everyone knows me in the airplane with the Tic Tacs, right?
Hmm.
Tic
So,
Tacs. If you need 200, I have a package of 200 Tic Tacs. That could take a flight.
so can I ask you first question that I have to ask you? Are you funny just because of the MS, or is this something you've developed over the years?
That's a good question. I have no idea, but I think it is, it is a combination of the two. I think the fact that because of the MS, I have more time to manage my filter and remove it more.
Yeah, that's true. And probably to care less if people find, you know what I mean? Like you know what I'm saying?
Exactly what you said. Could care less what people are thinking what I'm saying sometimes, but I do have to say I I understand when I'm being listened to
Mhm.
and the filter has to go on
That's true.
sometimes. But it's
Eh,
not here today.
No,
Good.
definitely not.
Yes, I win. Sorry.
It's you wrote. I read
Oh,
your journey, the 8 years of MS Canada, and
yeah.
even though in a bunch of times you said MS Society,
Yes.
correct that. Anyway,
I know.
uh,
This was written back in 2018. That was 6 years ago.
you were an introvert. My
Yes.
ass. Really?
Yes. Yes.
Wow,
You
that's
what you read, what I sent was a speech,
okay.
but this was how I used to do it. I would read that like this, like head down, word reading, don't look up, just reading. That was me. But then I still write the speech.
Yeah.
But then now that was just the draft. And so the one that I would take with me would just have a few lines highlighted and my key talking points. That's all. The speech that I write and draft is just to process my word vomit.
Yes,
Yeah, no,
that's
I feel that. That's I usually go with like really big words written on a page and I get like 5 or 6 words and it just kind of keeps me on track because like you and Terry, we could definitely go talk for hours.
what are you talking about?
Oh yeah.
Is that another, is that what word vomit means?
Hmm.
Well, see, word vomit, I just coined this little phrase. For me, word vomit is when you're talking to someone, like we're talking right now about a topic. Our topic, say, is um
Well,
socks.
today it's you.
Okay, but let's say socks. My socks. Let's talk about my socks. Okay, I have a pair of Wednesday socks. They say Wine's Day on them. But then we could talk, that might break off into wine because there's so many blackberry bushes down where I live because the train tracks. So then blackberry wine. My partner makes blackberry wine, but then I remember something else that I have to remember to make an appointment. I have to reserve a table because I'm going to have dinner with Red another night, and then all of this comes into one sentence and it makes no sense. And that's word vomit. Three ideas just ugh,
And
in
that's
one.
my life.
Yeah, it's cognitive impairment. Word
Hmm.
vomit.
No, that's not me. I don't have issues. Just joking. Okay.
Yeah, you are the issue. Oops. I didn't say that out loud, did I? Edit. Delete. Sorry.
We are not. We will shame you for that. Okay.
There's no shame here, you said.
No, definitely
I'm
not.
on the podcast. There's no shame.
You are family.
Well, then there's shame. Sorry.
I
Oh,
I feel like you got so much out of volunteering more than anything. So it's like I almost feel like if you got diagnosed with MS and you don't know where to go and yo, start volunteering because you wrote a few things here that's like, yo, man, if you're struggling, just go volunteer and you'll feel the way you do after. Because you wrote here, I'm sorry, I'm gonna read this, okay?
please go ahead.
The MS Society and everyone I have met throughout my experiences here do not treat me as a burden. That word is my key word, right? And
Uh-huh.
then you wrote, I am grateful to be treated as an asset. Maybe this asset is a gem. I could be an emerald, much rarer than diamonds. I feel rare and special because of you. So thank you for believing in me. I see the humor in your writing too. You know what I mean? Like that's you.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
can't believe you're an introvert.
I was, and it was only because I got put in these positions where I had to get up and speak. And I was terrified. I would shake. I couldn't sometimes, like you, I know, Terry, you see me get out there and talk and do things and crazy online, but that's online. This is in-person stuff. Different, isn't it? When you have to get up in front of people, you've done it too. And it's
Yeah.
Yeah,
hard.
yeah,
Yeah, Nix, you've gotten up and you've been a public speaker.
yeah. Many times in throughout my careers and stuff, I was a teacher for a little while, and yeah, no matter how many times you do it, uh, it's not that big a deal unless you think about it. Because then once you think about it, you're like, oh, they are all looking at me.
Yeah. Yeah. And one other thing that I had written, Terry might want to bring that up too, was about some people learning to public speak. You might go into a Toastmasters or watch TED Talks or things like that. What did I say? I just jumped in
Yeah.
and wanted the parachute,
Mm.
but there wasn't. Terry, don't push me out of the plane without a parachute. Now let's talk something else. Next, there's no jumping out of planes here, okay? I don't need a parachute because we're not in public speaking mode.
Nope.
But what it was for me was just telling a joke,
Mm.
connecting with the audience at the beginning. If I could engage and get attention and see, okay, now they're listening. Okay, now I can talk. And that part of just seeing that connection from a joke would settle me down. And I don't know if that's just how I manage it.
That's good. That's good advice. I find it much easier to speak here and in a room full of people with MS because you have the instant connection. You're like, what do they say? Preaching to the choir. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yep, totally.
Did being an ambassador change you? Did it? Because I know you wrote they
Mm.
gave you the tools to learn
Yes.
how to speak and So that helps you a lot.
Yeah, it was that, and there were a couple of people that worked at the
Me?
MS Society.
Oh,
No, I didn't
damn.
know you. These were people at Division, the BC
Okay.
Yukon Division. One of the women, and I'm so sad that when COVID destroyed stuff and jobs were lost and we didn't get to keep her, and Adrienne Boothroyd was amazing mentor. She coached me, she guided me. She would review what I wrote when I write a speech and make sure that I got the key points, and then would listen to me practice and would coach me. And that, what staff member of any corporation would do that with somebody who's just a volunteer going to speak? I mean, okay, I was speaking in front of the community, so
Mhm.
it was important to get the message out, but nobody coaches like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
One-on-one guidance and coaching on how to do public speaking. No.
She took the time to help you, eh?
Yes. And that was what really took me out of my introvert and
Mhm.
started me on this path. Oh no, I don't know where this path will take me. On a podcast. Oh
Yeah.
shoot, I'm done. Yay, complete.
All
I'm retired again.
right, let's wrap it up, Nick.
All right, it's
Yep.
been fun.
Yeah. I'm
We're
happy I
good.
could share.
Solid 15 minutes. We're good.
Okay. I'm the quickest. Oh,
Oh, oh.
I'm the sharp. No, never mind. Okay, carry on.
So if you go back before that, how do we go from walk me through from a diagnosis to an ambassador? There's a whole chunk of time there. Tell me the early story, if you don't mind.
I don't mind. Yeah. I was diagnosed actually this June will be 20 years.
Whoa.
Uh,
Yeah.
happy anniversary. Congratulations. I don't know.
Hi, I'm an anomaly. Yay. And that
Nice.
is what doctors have said to me, because I am not a typical MS patient for them.
How
My
so?
journey has been so, well, being diagnosed in 2004, I was on a disease modifying drug back then. Um, I got on back in 2004, there were only a few available and they were all self-injections. I had a terrible, terrible phobia of needles. Like, I would have to have my blood taken and I'd hyperventilate. And one time at the dentist, I did hyperventilate and passed out. And yeah, it's I but so I didn't know which drug to take. I volunteered for a clinical trial at UBC. I was living in Victoria, which is a ferry ride plus away, but I wanted to do that because I was from Vancouver and UBC, where the MS clinic and the clinical trial was in Vancouver, so I could be with my sister and family too. So that was good. And they put me on Copaxone, a daily injection. So this phobia of needles girl has to give herself a daily injection now.
Yeah.
FMS is right, huh?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. True.
Yeah, so when the nurse taught me on a orange,
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
I
Oh,
went through that.
you don't even have a self-injecting tool
not
gadget?
back then.
No, okay. All right.
Hey, yeah,
Yeah.
that was it. But I did it and I was like, oh, okay. I
Yeah.
did another one. Okay. Okay.
How
Phobia needle.
long how long were you on Copaxone for?
That went on until uh 2008.
Okay.
It had been doing some damage to my skin. And the neurologist I had at the time didn't like that and wanted me to change medications. But those ones were still the self-injections, and the other ones I didn't want to do because I hadn't had a relapse since that one that I was diagnosed with. So maybe
Mhm.
maybe I'm one of the rare percentage of clinically isolated syndrome and I'm cured. Oh, no. Well,
What?
let's go off this drug, he says, and give it a try. So I went off of it. And the stress of work, and because the company was going in through so many changes nationally, and positions were being removed and things. And this is, yeah, 2008. And okay, Terry, you're going to love this one. Company golf tournament. Okay, I used to play golf. That was my hobby. If I wasn't working, I was golfing.
Hmm.
And I got to go on some work trips. Yeah, because the the controller, I was an assistant controller, and the controller of the group I was in, he wasn't able to go and he wasn't a good golfer. So I went on that trip. But anyways, so that summer, 2008, the company golf tournament. I was having a good time on the 18th hole. We had a few drinks on the course, my buddies and I stepped in a divot, a really big one, and stepped sideways on my ankle.
Oh.
And it just snapped, like instant swelling and oh, that mother of gosh darn it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was a bad situation. A company golf tournament.
Yeah.
And she's drunk and then has to get removed and doesn't make dinner because she's gone to the hospital.
Yeah.
Accident prone Michelle strikes. Ah,
So, from when you were diagnosed, I know this is a tough question because we always forget what symptoms we have, and whenever I tell you to mention them, but what was your, we always ask, what was your first symptom? What is your worst symptom till this day?
okay.
Because I know some of the symptoms, and I want to know that you're going to mention the one that I hate that you
Uh-huh.
probably won't, but I'm just curious what is on your, you
Oh,
know,
I'll start with
priority.
the first one. INO.
NIO.
INO.
INO.
Intranuclear ophthalmoplegia.
Okay.
Oh.
Please elaborate.
Partial paralysis optic nerve.
That makes sense.
It was crazy. But so what happened? Okay, how it came down, how that rolled out, and how I discovered what INO was and what it did to me. But anyways, how this came out. This was back in 2003. I was working on my professional accounting designation, and I was in the final stages of the 2-year program to complete my designation and be a professional accountant. And so 2003, I've been studying hard and working hard and doing all of this. And then I'm jogging home from work one day and I'm kind of, it's November, it's October, sorry, October, and it's getting cold out, and I kind of stumble a bit and lose my balance and like, oh, and I'm so dizzy and
Mm.
oh no, a little nauseous. Oh, yeah, but that'll come up later. Nothing did that day. But anyways, I got home, I got into because it was chilly out, I got into a nice hot bath. Then, after I and then the dizzy and migraine sensitive, everything started. I don't know. Hot bath, not a good idea. I discovered
No.
later on in life,
Yeah, no.
but I wouldn't know back then. So the next morning, I'm like, okay, I can't go to work. I don't know what's wrong. So I call my doctor's office, not that day, the next day, just get in to see my GP. And she's on vacation. So I go to a walk-in clinic because this is just hurting me badly. And I tried to go to work and I couldn't work because it's just my eyes, my head hurt. I didn't know what. So the doctor at the walk-in clinic says, "Oh, yeah, I'll get you an antibiotic. It's this inner ear
Ah,
infection. It's been going around." Didn't even check my ears. Didn't even look.
jeez.
It's just an inner ear infection. Here's an antibiotic. Okay. Too bad the antibiotic discovered later on. I was sort of allergic, but I
Damn.
took a few pills before I got
Ugh.
sick. And then I went back, saw a different doctor at the walk-in clinic, and he says, "Oh yeah, yeah, that's here, try this one." Didn't look at me. Just
Yeah.
here, try this antibiotic. So 2 days more of this hell, and my GP is back. So I go to my GP's office, and she has a look, and she says, do you mind if I bring the other doctor in here for a minute? Like, oh, okay. And she had done the eye test that we know now,
Mhm,
the side to side gazing, follow my finger test,
mhm.
the follow my finger test, brings the other doctor in. They do it. And she says, yeah, I see it too. Like, what the?
It's the first time I'm hearing right now that that test is actually used for something.
I know. I know. And that sent me, she says, okay, I'm calling Victoria General Hospital. You're going to go there now and they'll know and you'll be checked there. But you need to go there to get checked. And I'm like, what the is going on? Like, what are we looking at? What are we looking for?
Mhm.
It's just, yeah, just, I don't know yet. They'll know more. They'll have to run tests. I don't know.
That's
Um,
not very reassuring.
I know, but she couldn't say she thought it was a brain tumor
Yeah.
or hemorrhage or something, not
That-
thinking it was MS.
And she doesn't want to say that to you, but yeah, that's what I was thinking too, that that's what they think.
Yeah, she thought that maybe I
Yeah.
had something else going on.
Mhm.
So let's check this out because INO, this internuclear ophthalmoplegia, one eye, so this eye motion, the side to side gazing test, one eye moved to the side, the other didn't.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's why I was dizzy and stumbling and I couldn't focus and concentrate and why I was having the worst migraine of my life for a week and two. And that, yeah, so
How
that was crazy.
how did you fix that issue?
Time.
That's it? And prednisone?
Wait, I'll tell you the rest of this part. I know it's a long story. You guys,
No, it's
there's
okay. It's
gonna be a
okay.
lot of editing on this one.
No, no, no. Listen,
Okay.
no
Yeah.
matter the more you say about your story, the more the listeners can either pick up on or associate with. The more you have, the more that it makes people feel like, oh, I have that too. I'm not the only one. It makes people feel better. So we appreciate the long stories.
Or this girl is effing crazy because
No, man,
let's
I'm
keep
effing
going with
crazy.
all that.
Well,
I'll start. This is beginning. Let's keep going.
All right.
This is 2003. Yay. Okay, so the INO. I am told to go to the hospital, which I need a ride because I don't have a car back then, and I'm taking transit. And in Victoria back in 2003, it wasn't the best. Probably still isn't, but I don't know. Anyway, so I call a coworker, and she comes to my doctor's office, picks me up. Can we just stop at my home first, please? I just want to change my underwear.
um,
Only because I'm wearing a G-string and I want full back panties before I get on a hospital gown, please.
Oh my God.
wow, was not expecting that.
I
That's
know.
wow.
That's
Yeah, I'm a girl. Thank you.
I love it.
oh my God.
Uh-huh.
That's crazy.
So yes, I went home. She took me home. I got ready to go to the hospital. So she dropped me off at the emergency. They let me in and they had me all set up and started testing me. Thank you. And I had
Nice.
my underwear on for a little while.
As long as you were comfortable.
Hey, I would have been so much more insecure having my butt hanging that way.
Yeah, yeah. No, I hear that. Happens to me all the time.
Thank you. Yeah, so that was so they did some tests and then the next morning a doctor came in and said, "Okay, um do you need anybody to come in with you here?" No, I'm alone. Like I don't have anybody living with me in Victoria. All my family's in Vancouver. I'm alone. I'm good. I don't need anyone here with me. I'm not going to call my sister in Vancouver, tell her to come over to Victoria to the hospital to hear what the doctor has to say to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell me what what is going on here? How do
Isn't
we get rid of this?
that crazy that like the doctor was like you need to have some support next to you before I tell you this.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'm tough. Like I've been through stuff in my life so far, so just tell me. And so yeah, well, I can't give you a diagnosis because we can't do that here. But the symptom you have, and blah 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 blah, whatever. I had to look it up. Internuclear ophthalmoplegia. That is almost exclusively indicative of brain tumor or MS. Oh, so I don't have a brain tumor then. Okay, good news. Shit.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about MS? My sister's best friend in high school's mother had it. I don't know.
And what was her condition when you knew her? Because that's the only thing you're going back to, right?
But I didn't ever meet her. I just knew my sister's best friend's mother had it.
Okay.
I know. I didn't know anything
Yeah.
about it. Just somebody else had it. I don't know.
Neither did I.
And that was it. So, okay, do you need anybody to pick you up? Okay, sure. I'll phone a friend. A coworker, because I don't have friends, because I just moved there to reset my life. And that's a whole
Neither-
different story for a different day.
Wow.
Right.
So there you are with this bombshell.
Yeah.
Limited support.
hmm
You must have been spinning out.
I didn't know what to do. I was questioning them, saying, well, how do we treat my eyes now? Like, I still have how do we treat this? Well, because we can't diagnose you, we can't treat you with the steroids that would if you had MS diagnosis. So we're going to have to wait and see. It'll go away if it doesn't come back.
Wow.
Yeah.
So basically, they said you might have a brain tumor or MS,
Oh, no,
and
no, there's no brain tumor.
okay. So
We
they
just,
said you have MS and good luck.
sure, maybe,
Wow.
because they can't diagnose without a second attack back then, even though there were multiple lesions on my brain and nothing else. And it was yeah, they didn't know then.
Compared
Yeah.
compared to what we have now, that's like almost archaic. Doesn't it seem like it wasn't that long ago, but it just seems like, man, the progression of treatments has really taken off.
I know. And that is what is so astounding to me. And I could tell you the number that I've had since 2003, but oh yeah. I've gone through a variety and I'm in the process of preparing for another one. And I'm holding up this little shot, a booster shot from Loop I'm trying to increase my lymphocytes. So I've got this, I drank this morning. It doesn't taste that great, but it's ginger, turmeric, pear, and lemon juice shot, cold pressed. And my little baby formula, sort of love child organic quinoa, apple, sweet potato, carrot, blueberry mash. So I'm just doing what I can right now to increase my lymphocytes so that I can get this next drug treatment as a preventative measure.
Lymphocytes.
Yeah.
How do you measure that? Do you just go get blood work?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
I
I think
know.
I've heard of that before. I'm not really, but
Your immune system, mine's whatever. That's the
okay.
one that fights the bad guys.
So shouldn't my lymphocytes be low since I'm taking Ocrevus? I don't know.
And where's your blood work?
Um, the only thing that should be low, Terry, is your B cell count. 'Cause
I
that's what it works on.
I figured you were gonna say that. I just
Science with Nick.
And those B
I love it.
cells,
Love it.
the B cells are part of a lymphatic system.
Yep.
Oh,
you're
the
right.
lymphocytes. Oh my gosh,
What are you
no.
guys both doctors? What's going on?
No, I heard that song. So the hand bone's connected to.
And the tailbone's connected to the knee bone?
Yeah.
No.
So Michelle with one L. You're allergic to antibiotics.
Yes,
Is there anything else you're allergic to?
codeine.
So unlucky for
Yes,
you.
thank you. Bring on the
So,
morphine. Oh, sorry.
so what about prednisone? Are you,
That
everyone
one, yeah, that
said,
does nothing for me. And this, okay,
oh,
I'll tell you this next chapter of my MS saga. I'm going to fast forward. So the 2008 went through the ankle sprain, wasn't recovering, other things with the company. I was starting to relapse. I saw the neurologist I had back then. He didn't see me relapsing, didn't think so. So carry on. I'm freaking and it's just building and building and building. And then the end of January 2009, I collapse and end up in the hospital. And I'm a patient for the month of February. And that was the beginning of a 4-month journey of hospital and then years of recovery and continuing on this path. But the 2009 entry into the hospital, I I don't think I mentioned this one to you, Terry, but Nix, this will be good. The neurologist that I had at the time, who didn't think I was really relapsing when I'm faking it, I'm a good actor. And yeah, okay. Anyways, I said, okay, because this has been going on for a while, I don't want the 3 days of steroids. I want the 5 days. Like, let's be big on it, please. So I'm saying this to the emergency doctor, and he's like, let me call the neurologist. The neurologist just wants to do 3 days. But I'm saying 5. If there's no extra risk, let's just. And so they let me just talk to some. So goes has a consultation with a couple other neurologists at the hospital. I'm like, yeah, we're going to do 5 now. And they took over my case, and my neurologist gone.
never heard
Really?
this before. You can
I
say I want
know.
5 instead of 3.
Yeah, I
I think I
did.
did 4 days, by the way. Not recently, but when I did in the past, when I got IV steroids, I think it was 4 days, maybe 3, maybe it was 3. I don't remember. It felt like
I
7.
just remember looking on the website and reading about relapses, and they would do a 3-day course or a 5-day course or something
Okay.
like that. And I'm like, okay, I want the bigger one then.
Yeah. See, my neurologist goes the other way. Every time I had a relapse, he would say, although 3 days can work, since you're here already, we're just going to do the other 2 to make sure that this thing goes away.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. Must be a health system thing.
Well, it's also, I think that more awareness now, like
Hmm.
back then there wasn't because the amount they gave me in 2009 was ridiculous. But back then, I guess the awareness of the steroid damage to the bones. And now we have to be so careful because how do we repair the bones and the marrow when we need the bone marrow to keep our immune systems going too?
Just drink some milk.
Or have a little Luke boost shot, have your turmeric and stuff, cold pressed juices that taste like the devil. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Speaking of the devil, Terry,
Yes.
just
I
kidding.
knew you were going there.
MS. The devil, the blue devil. Have you ever heard, Nix? Have you heard of the blue devil?
No, enlighten me, please.
Oh, the blue devil, mitoxantrone. It is a drug treatment. And the one thing at the end of this 4-month hospitalization, that was the one that put me into remission. It was
Okay.
such a hell of a journey because that first 5 days of steroids did nothing, zero. And the
Mm.
neurologist that had taken my case in the hospital, like, okay, now we got to do something. So then they tried plasma exchange. So I
Okay.
get a central line put in my neck. So I have a nice big thick IV in the neck. And then with the other IVs and everything else, right? And so they do this Plex treatment, plasma exchange. So they filter my blood, they take my plasma out and put new plasma in, donor plasma and synthetic, but I think mine was donor, which is a lot of blood donations. So please donate blood, but they won't take ours. I don't know why. Yes, I do.
Yes, you're right.
I know, but yeah, I took a lot of blood for that plasma exchange, and it did some help,
So,
but they wanted me to stay after 4 weeks, but not in the hospital.
and this is an MS treatment because I've never heard of this, and I'm not. That's crazy. There's
Yeah, I had one. It's called a
really.
pheresis, officially known as a pheresis.
What are
Mhm.
you, a doctor now? This
Uh,
guy knows all the terminology.
I have a doctorate degree
Coming in the mail.
from the School of Hard Knocks, sir.
Ooh, I like that school. That's a good one. I failed it. I dropped out. Sorry.
So did I.
It's scary. It's scary as hell when you're looking at two large bore needles hanging out the side of your neck for a couple days.
Yo, man,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I don't know about you, but for me, they rotated out 3 liters of plasma a day for 5 days. I don't know if
Yeah,
it's the same.
that's right. Yeah, that's plasma exchange.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hell of a thing, but I was so on morphine, I was
Mm.
okay. I had the drip bag too.
Nice. You
Yeah,
kept pushing the
the
button.
push
No,
button.
I can't get the button to It's empty, I think. Refill. Huh. Sorry.
What other symptoms? Because we're talking
Yes,
about what else?
sorry.
No, whatever.
Yeah, but that was okay. This was the first part of the 2009. Um, Dizziness, um, imbalanced. Um, I had sensitive light, migraines. I had my nystagmus, the eye twitch thing was back from the INO deal.
Okay.
Fun stuff with eyes.
I
But I've
don't
never
know.
had optic neuritis. Knock on wood. Uh,
That's me.
I don't want to. I had the INO, that's good for me now.
Yeah.
So that was that. And then the symptoms, Terry, you're talking about that one. So they wanted me to do some physical rehabilitation because of my balance and my instability and everything, and being in a hospital bed for another 4 weeks. And then with my ankle injury, which as a really sad but a good benefit of being laid up in a hospital for months, my ankle healed. I didn't have
Hey.
surgery. Yeah, or
You get the good news when you can take it.
Yeah.
that's right. I mean, being laid up is good when you have an injury. When you're told to get off your feet and stay off your feet. Hey,
Mhm.
I was off my feet. I stayed off my feet, and then they wanted me to go back. But okay, so that was February 2009. I didn't remember this because, I was on a lot of painkiller,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
IV drips and such from the Plex and the central line, stuff. So yeah, I don't remember, but apparently I insisted on going home, but they wouldn't let me go home because I obviously couldn't take care of myself and I lived alone.
Mm.
So you can leave. We discharge you to your father and grandmother, and you stay at your grandmother's house. Have your father and grandmother take care of you. And for the next week, and we'll get you outpatient status at GF Strong, which is a physical rehabilitation center. And then you can start recovery from this relapse that I'm still in, really, because what I don't remember is I insisted on leaving, that they wanted to keep me in the hospital, but I said, no, I can take care of myself.
Mhm. And
But the good part of that was that they wrote up a discharge paper and they said to me, and I guess I was alert when I heard this, if you need to come back, bring this paper with you, and this will get you through. And dang it, it did.
How soon after getting that paper were you backhanding that paper back to them?
Oh, this is
how,
the hell part. This is I'm really stubborn, okay? In a good way. Sometimes it's not good, but most of the time it's just stubborn in a good way. And that's me. So I'm stubborn. I wanted to go home. I was after a week at my grandmother's. I can take care of myself. Like I want my TV, I want my bed, I want my microwave dinners. Because I could order in, I guess.
Mhm.
Cooking, that wasn't my thing back then. I learned to cook after being off work. So I my dad helped me get set up at home after that 1 week. So 7 days at my grandma's, one night in my home, my apartment. And the next day I'm reaching into a cupboard. I'm crouched down and fell backwards, lost my balance, fell backwards. I don't think I hit my head. I really don't. But I think just the shock of that impact on the floor in the kitchen, um, just, I don't know, but it triggered something in me and the vomiting began
Mm.
and would
Like
not, like,
the vomiting began instantaneously, like after you fell,
no,
or
not
okay.
instantaneous. It was a couple hours. I went to bed. I went to bed and lay down because I just like, oh, I'm dizzy.
Yeah.
That was not good. So I'm like, that's it. I'm gonna go lay down. So I
Yeah.
went to bed. And that's when it really hit. And when I tried to turn over to get up because I was feeling nauseous in bed.
Mm.
Is this vertigo that you were going through, or
Uh,
something else? I don't know.
I didn't know because I hadn't had anything like that. Like it was just such a twisted, freaky thing and then I got to the kitchen, I kind of scooped whatever in bed away and laundry and I had some water and that came up. Okay. I
Mm.
took another glass of water and went and sat down with a big bowl. So just in case this water comes up, I have something to catch it in. And yep, that came up. And I'm like, holy crap, what the hell's going on? So I'm like, I'm just not gonna have anything. I'm just gonna lay down and I can't even have my medication. I don't know what to do. I was, I called my sister because my dad was traveling for work and I had nothing and nobody else. And my sister, I'm like, I have to go back to the hospital, Tammy.
You must have been terrified.
I knew I knew I had to go back. That was all. I just knew what the next step was. That was all I was concerned with. That was all I was thinking about. I need this next step because I have so much unfinished on my desk at work.
Do
So
you
what
still
was
work
it?
now?
The which?
So what was it? You went to the hospital. I mean, did they get rid of it? How long did the
Oh.
symptom take?
Well, that's it, as I was readmitted.
Okay.
So because the vomiting, they don't know what it's from. I
Hmm.
don't know what it's from. I'm not sexually active. I mean, I just got out of the hospital, please. Like you all tested this one.
The vomiting was because you're nauseous, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But from what?
From what? Yes. From
That
what?
was the trick. From what? I wasn't sick. I didn't have a flu. I wasn't anything. They didn't know what was causing the nausea. And they were running so many tests now because this was a new symptom from my previous admission.
Mhm.
And that's why they started from the beginning again. Steroids,
Ugh.
5 days of steroids. That does nothing. She's not eating. She's still not eating.
Yeah.
My sister's like, look at her. She's wasting away. Do something.
Yeah.
And then they inserted a tube and started tube feeding me.
Mm.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Where did they insert the tube? Sorry, gotta ask.
Yeah.
Sorry, Michelle. Where did they insert the tube? Like through your throat?
No,
Your nose? Okay. Sorry, that must have been a silly question. I don't know. I've just
no, because that's it. I didn't know these things. Like you see,
yeah.
you know, when we're looking at those commercials for Children's Hospital and the kids have that yellow
Yeah.
tube, that's the
Yeah.
food going in.
Yeah.
The yellow tube is the food, the nourishment, because they're being tube fed. And it's so sad. And I didn't know that was what it was.
Mm.
But yes, I had that tube. I had the central line tube. I two IVs too at the same time. I was like, and because I wasn't able to get out of bed
Yeah.
because of the nausea
Hmm.
and my nystagmus was back too, and yeah, the dizzy, everything, migraine, sensitivity to light. I was so lucky that I got a private room in the hospital because there was one available, and I'm like, oh, but it was good because I got C. diff too. Fudge.
What was that?
Oh, that was a bad one. Not fudge. Forget I said that.
Oh, no, no.
Ew.
It's okay. I thought you said something else. Like you got C anyway.
I got C. diff. Yeah.
C. diff.
Yeah. C. difficile. That bad bowel.
Okay. Okay. You
It's a
had
hospital. It's a hospital virus.
it's funny
And
because
yeah.
I've known you for like 3 4 years, 3 years,
Uh-huh.
and you have other symptoms that you have yet to mention. And they're so bad, like the TMJ, which I thought I had. And I went to my dentist and I said, yo, fix this TMJ. And the dentist said, no, it's not TMJ. I said, it's so painful. He goes, I know, but if it was TMJ, it would be much more. And then as he tested everything and figured out it wasn't TMJ, all I could do is think of you and say, I'm so sorry, Michelle, that you're suffering through that crap.
Only because the dentist diagnosed it for me. And that's what you asked your dentist.
Yes, yeah, because of you, because we were talking, and I'm like,
It's my fault. Thanks. I'm sorry to Terry's dentist. It's my fault.
it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
You owe me some money. Just joking. Okay.
Only if it's a root canal and I can push you out of that plane with Marielle.
She's all into pushing Marielle out of the plane when she gets here. Yeah,
And
Wait to see that video.
can't
are you
wait
going
either.
to study to be a pilot so you can fly the plane for us?
Oh no, I wouldn't pass the vision test to be a pilot.
I don't think you need a vision test. It's all like,
I don't know if I'd fly with a
feel.
blind pilot. I'm pretty sure you got to be able to see.
Well, hello. Self-driving cars, self-driving planes, right? Hello, why not?
We're
I
going so
mean,
off
if
topic,
Tesla can do it.
but I know that pilots
Not
are not
Boeing.
allowed. They're not allowed to fly if they have any imperfections in their eyes. They cannot wear glasses. They have to do. Anyway, what are we talking about here?
I don't know, Terry.
You didn't like my Boeing joke. That was good. I'm happy.
No, I don't get it. I don't get some of your jokes, but I know you're
I
funny.
know.
But but I'm there with you. When you laugh, I laugh, right? Because I know I missed something.
Oh, oh. Okay. The truth comes out. Terry only laughs if somebody else is laughing to humor them.
He doesn't want to be left out.
Yeah. He wants us to feel like he's agreeing, like he understands.
Check this out.
Laughter is understanding you. Yeah, exactly. I'm not understood. Nix, am I understood?
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
Why
What
too?
what hit you harder? Summer or winter?
Winter
Winter. Yeah. See, for
for
me, it's the
you,
other
summer
way.
for me. That's why I have my hat out.
Yeah.
But
No,
it's winter.
it
It's
got up to it got up to 27 degrees Celsius today, and I blacked out from my fatigue.
oh
So yeah, it really hits. Summer and I don't work out well. I have a cooling vest. It's got to be AC the whole time and limit my
yeah.
hours outside. I'm very much a prisoner of the weather in the summer. So
Yo, dude, you can't just stop there. Like you blacked out.
yeah, it happens a lot. I brushed over it because I get so fatigued that I have to sit down like immediately. And
Okay,
then as
okay,
soon as I sit down, I close my eyes, and then 15, 20 minutes later, I startle awake.
okay.
And usually whoever I'm around, I ask how long I've been out. But yeah, it happens a lot.
When I hear blackout, I'm thinking you're walking and you fall down.
Oh,
Almost.
Dude,
Almost.
that's
When
scary.
I'm walking in the heat, like I feel it slowing
Yeah,
down. It feels like I'm in quicksand. If like I have to be moving towards a comfortable, safe position
yeah.
because if I'm out of the house, that's why I don't go
yeah.
out of the house by myself because I can't drive in the summer. There's lots of things I can't do because of the heat. It just literally shuts me down.
Yeah.
So
Michelle, you had an important position before, right? And now you don't work, I'm assuming, because I see you volunteering with me a lot. And
True. I
how,
do not work for that was what happened 2009, this long hospital stay. And I had so much unfinished at my desk. My job was not done, and I was mad. And this was another really insane thing that I did
yeah,
because well, sometimes when we're type A personalities and a project is unfinished and it won't leave our minds until we can see it either destroyed or finished.
Very
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, and destruction is sometimes myself because I'm accident prone, but that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about this part of the um, work. I was off a year and a half, still in my recovery.
Mhm.
Because, okay, I'm sorry, I have to back up a little bit because there was something that happened when I was discharged the second time, and I was an outpatient at GF Strong officially now. I got into GF Strong as an outpatient. Oh, sorry, no, I was inpatient. What am I saying? After I was inpatient, then I was outpatient at GF Strong. Oh, bleh. I was inpatient for 5 weeks and then outpatient. So as outpatient, and I'm traveling back and forth, I'm driving myself. It's okay. I go to a doctor's appointment. I'm driving home. I stop for a red light. The truck cruising, smoking along behind me doesn't. I stop. I heard the brakes the last time. I'm looking in my rearview mirror like, oh, me.
No way.
Oh,
Wow.
me. Yeah.
Because that's what
So,
you needed.
Yeah. And the impact pushed me into the intersection.
okay.
I was the first car because I stopped for the light turning red. I guess the guy thought I would sail through it because
Yeah.
it's a yellow. Oh, isn't yellow mean you're supposed to slow down and stop? Okay, never mind.
First of
Rules
all,
don't
isn't it
apply.
amber?
Amber, sure. Whatever
Okay.
color you want to call it, rouge, amber,
Okay.
there, green,
So
Did
you
you?
blue,
got pushed into the
colorblind.
middle
Yeah,
of the
so I
intersection?
get pushed into the intersection. Thank goodness there's no oncoming, like traffic going the other direction, side traffic, so I didn't get hit. Um, I, you know, people came to call call emergency service. I'm not getting out of the car. Like I am absolutely in shock. What the just happened to me? What the am I okay? Am I okay? Am I gonna get up out of the car? Oh my God, I don't know. I am just going through in my head, like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah.
Shock. I am stunned. I don't know what to do. I mean, so police, they arrive and everything, and they, get me up the car, check it out. Like, okay, well, um, look, here's what we can do. There's a walk-in clinic, doctor's office just across the street over there. We can watch you go there, or we can have your car towed and get you into an ambulance and take you to the hospital. You'll have to pay for storage for the car and the tow fee and the blah, 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 or just go across the street to the doctor's office.
Yeah.
So I go to the doctor's office. I don't want to go back to the hospital.
Yeah.
I was just there for 4 months. I don't want to go back. Thanks.
I don't blame you there.
Yeah. So I went to the doctor's office. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Whiplash, blah, blah, blah here. Um, just take a break, rest, go home. And your car is drivable, I guess. It made it over here, I guess. So okay. So I go home. It was a beautiful car. Oh, I loved that car. That car was like my little baby. And then at the end of the day, I didn't know right away, but when they couldn't get the parts to fix it all the way, because the parts were too expensive, they wrote it off.
Oh yeah. Yep. That'll happen.
Yeah, and that one, I was so sad because it was such a beautiful car, but I had secondary insurance on it, so
Yeah.
I got all my money back. Thank God, because now I have no car, but good because that means I have no car payment. I have no job
Mhm.
because I'm not working, but I have insurance, but it's not a salary. What the F am I gonna do? But good thing that I don't have a car lease to pay anymore. Or
Man, you're just finding the silver linings all over the place. I guess that's a
oh
good
yeah.
attitude to have.
And I had an insurance settlement after all that too. And the hip injury that I'm still working through.
Is that why you had hip surgery?
That's part of it, yeah.
Oh, I thought, like the normal wear and tear that. Oh, okay.
No, it was
Wow. Okay.
also the joint because my foot was on the brake.
Yeah.
When I was impacted by this truck, my foot was on the brake and it jammed my hip, just compressed it in
Wow.
there.
Okay.
And so, yeah, that's part of the damage and then the wear and tear on top of that and all the steroids. And then they started doing cortisone steroid injections into the hip joint to alleviate some of the pain. And so I went through that for years after too. And that's not good for the joint. And so
Jeez.
anyways, I'm bionic. No, I'm not because I have human body parts.
She,
They're not my
she
parts though.
does. So MS got nothing on you. Like you got all these
Oh,
other problems. It's like, fuck MS. Who cares about MS?
MS is just a side note on
Oh
Michelle's
my
journey.
God.
Hey, comorbidities. Watch
Yeah.
out.
And I've never
Um,
seen you bitter or angry. You're always like this joker, good mood. What do you mean, why? Because life is so hard sometimes.
yes, it is. And I've gone through the deep too. And
I mean, y-
because life is not fair.
you are like a great ambassador because of what you've been through and your attitude. You put me to shame because
I did good makeup today and now I'm crying, Terry.
you're awesome, dude.
That's me. Never mind. Okay. The thing about it is that
Yeah,
we have to be brave. Put on a brave face. If you look at yourself in the mirror and you're looking grumpy and disgruntled, how do you feel? Right?
I get
So
that.
smile.
I get that. I'm doing the whole CBT thing too. So I'm a big believer of that. But you have that 1% of your day where you're like, I'm allowed to be grumpy. This is the real Terry.
Hey, you know my four P's? There's two more P's,
Dude, I
remember?
got two P's
Grandpa
going down my
added those
pants.
two. Okay, you pee and you poo. Yeah, we know your two
Okay,
P's.
what's your four P's? What's your four
Okay.
P's?
Yes. This is what, when I was out of hospital and my mood so low because I've lost so much, my career, like, what the hell is happening? I was either working or playing golf, and now I don't have my work and I don't have my golf. What the hell am I doing? And yes, I was in a very um bad mood. And then on top of that, having to work through insurance on two fronts, the health insurance plus the car, like the accident insurance and all that stuff. But um, yeah, we have to do what we have to do to get through. And that was it. And I was so blessed to have my family, my
Yeah.
sister, my dad. Oh,
Mhm.
sorry.
Not at
Yeah.
all. Not at all. I love this genuine Michelle. Trust me, it's all good.
It's not the fake Michelle you're used to. What?
No, I'm just no, you're always happy. And because you're volunteering. Every time I see you, you're a volunteer. And that's why I think you're such a great ambassador. And you put me to shame for real. And Nick.
Oh,
Nick's a great
no.
ambassador. And I'm like, am I doing enough?
I'll tell you, you're
Oh,
too kind.
hello.
No.
You
Yeah.
sure as heck- you two guys are two guys with MS.
This guy's getting invited to frickin' anyway.
But
And
no, Terry, you don't listen.
Where?
I know you talk about yourself in a certain way, but don't discount the groups that you host, Terry. They're
I appreciate
vital
it.
to a lot of people, dude. That's the great thing about this. We all have something we can contribute, and we all don't have to do all of it, which is great because otherwise we'd be exhausted.
Yes.
So we just do one little piece. We do our piece. So
I
Appreciate
like
it, man.
that.
Thank you.
I think you need to put that in your uh mission, your vision statement.
I agree. There's you know, everyone who gets everyone who receives a diagnosis, there's room for them to advocate. Everyone.
Yes.
So
Yeah. It could be as basic as saying to the person that just um gave you your receipt at the grocery store from, okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Oh, because you gave me my receipt, I'm going to thank you. Well, why not?
Yeah.
You don't, that person went through that day. Just
Yep.
give them
Yeah.
thank you.
And if you have an MS diagnosis or any diagnosis really, but you are
Uh-huh.
by default an ambassador to that because of how you carry yourself.
I feel like even though you've had MS now 10 years plus and you've gone through this, I feel like it's still the beginning for you. I feel like you're just gonna break through any second now because yeah, you're volunteering, you're doing the time program, but I feel like you still have more out of you to come out. Does that make sense? Like you're just in the beginning of your journey, you know?
Which one are you talking about now?
You being
Me?
an ambassador for MS
Okay.
Canada, you know,
Okay.
because I feel like you have so much messages to spread and you're just in the beginning of it. And
Well,
again, you being an introvert, BS. I
Can't
could never
tell.
see that. Yeah.
I allowed myself to grow, and that was it. And that's I think one of those lessons my 4 Ps taught me when I was out of the hospital, when I was in this very deep place. My sister said, "You need to work through this. You need to work on it. You need to work on yourself. You need to meet people. You need to meet other people with MS." And that was my sister's message to me. And that's what I needed to do. So I needed to work through, how do I meet these other people? My sisters, join a support group, meet other people with MS. You don't know anybody, you don't know what their experiences have been. Yours is crap. So let's go and talk to others and see if their crap too is better than your crap. Whose crap is best crap? I don't know. My poop is my poop. I'm going to just do my own crap. Thanks. But that's okay. You can edit that one.
Definitely not. The
But my
first,
4 Ps, okay, or not
go,
Terry's Ps. I perseverance. I will persevere. I'm getting through this. I'm not giving up. I persevere. Planning. You got to come up with a plan. If your plan might change, you might experience a roadblock, a hurdle, or something. You come up with a plan to get around it. So your plan, execute the plan, plans can change. So you persevere, you have your plan, now you have to be patient. Oh, patience is so hard
Mhm.
because change doesn't happen overnight as much as we want it to. We have to be patient.
Mhm.
But I need it to change now because I have other things to do. Why can't it just get better and make me heal faster? I change. Patience. Okay, patience. Positivity. You
Amen.
have, we can find the positive in anything if we try. And that's it. We can find the positive in anything if we try. Like when I walked into a table leg and broke my toe. That toe I had just very little feeling on because of the MS. So that was positive. Thanks, MS.
I'm not laughing at you, just so we make that
I
clear.
know, accent from Michelle
Joy.
strikes again. But yes, that's the 4 Ps. Perseverance, planning, patience, and positivity. And my best friend in Victoria, she told me 2 more Ps that I need to add to those 4 Ps. And she said to me, pity party. It's not what it sounds like, pity party. She says, what it is it's one day you take for you. You decide what you want to do. You decide if you want to do it alone or you want to invite other people, but this is for you. You have your day. When you need your day, don't take it too much because then it's not yours anymore, but make it you. Once in a while, have your pity party, your other 2 Ps.
First of all, I love that, but I thought I was your best friend.
I'm sorry you're not in Victoria.
I don't know what's going on. Anyway,
Did you help me when I was diagnosed with MS? No, you weren't there in 2004, sorry.
I would have been.
But she also said to me, the other really positive thing she said to me after all this diagnosis and stuff, she said, the universe isn't going to give you what it doesn't think you can't handle. So you can handle this. You got it. And that's it. That's what she said.
What a perfect way to end the show.
Okay.
Michelle, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank Thank you for having me. And if you want me back, you know where to find me.
It was
Zoom,
a pleasure to
zoom.
meet you.
Thank you, Nix. It was so nice to meet you and talk to you. Forget Terry. Can we talk again sometime?
Anytime you want.
All
She's so
right.
funny.
New host over here.
Oh my God. I'm out, eh?
You had a good run, Terry.
All right, man. Thanks for having me.
Okay, thanks, guys.
I'll
Take care.
see you. I'll see you guys next week. Okay, take care, guys.
Cheers.
Bye. So check us out at 40belowzero.com. That's 4 letter T below zero.com. Or feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Our email address is info@40belowzero.com. Our personal Instagram account are, for Nix, it's Nix_V713. Or for Terry, it's What's_MS. Awesome. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. We'll talk soon.